So,
No, that probably doesn't answer your question
Well,
completely, but
it's more a curiosity question.
Yeah.
I'm able to vote on it now.
yeah,
I have no
but
problem.
statistically, we could get that information, correct? So, okay.
thank you. Okay, then the action that we take would be to approve the proposed Level 2 local enrollment priorities for Modesto Junior College as listed on May 11th agenda. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved by trustee Martin, seconded by
I'll
trustee
second.
Flores. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Okay, we get now to the board policies.
Good evening, Board. We are looking this evening at 4 board policies. And while it's not a long list this evening, it is a milestone for us because this means that what we started last summer in reviewing all of our Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 board policies has come full circle now. So it's come through the process, and here we are finalizing the last of them, save for one, and that's 2360 minutes. That's still in the district council queue. But other than that, you have all now seen all of your Chapter 1 and 2 board policies. So we will look first at 2740 board education. And in the ad hoc committee meeting on Monday, we had a recommendation to add a note. And so you were given that this evening, and it is in red. And the note reads, the Community College League has resources to assist boards in further developing a local new trustee orientation program, as well as ongoing development for the board and experienced trustees, including the Community College League's Excellence in Trusteeship program. And so the recommendation was to add that to line 13 on 2740. Okay, and then no other discussion on that. We can move to 2745, board self-evaluation. And again, at the ad hoc committee meeting, a couple of recommendations were made. So you have that as well from this evening. And that is on bullet point number 3. The additions are in red, so it would read, board members will be asked by the board chair to complete the evaluation instrument, which is a public document, and submit them to the secretary/clerk of the board prior to the retreat, no later than 14 calendar days in advance. And the 4th bullet point, a summary of the evaluations will be presented at least 5 calendar days prior to the discussion at the board retreat session scheduled for that purpose. So those were the recommendations for change on that.
Before we leave that one,
Yeah.
we took out at the annual board retreat in the first bullet. Do we need to change it then in the 3rd? Or does that still make sense? 'Cause there's no reference to a retreat preceding the 3rd bullet now. So what do we just
Okay.
say prior to the meeting in August?
Sure.
Make it consistent?
Yeah, well, you used to just have like a retreat, one or
Right.
two a day, and I mean, 1 or 2 a year, and now we do study sessions.
Yeah.
Quite a few.
I'm just thinking if we took it out, retreat out up here, let's be consistent.
Yeah, I
down
think
this
that's a
one.
good idea.
Got it. Okay, and then moving on to 2-8075. This is one of those dash policies that the CCLC does not have a corresponding policy for, but it is unique to the YCCD. And when we looked at this last summer with your subject matter area leaders, and that was the ad hoc committee of the board, they did want to keep this as a policy for the district. So we are doing that, recommending that. And then lastly, 2-8076 legal counsel, we are recommending to delete this policy because the information there is actually contained in another policy, which is 2430, delegation of authority to the chancellor. So you don't lose that information. It's found in another policy. And those are the 4 that are being brought before you this evening.
So that's just the first reading. We don't say,
Right. But I will make the one change
Yeah.
for next month.
okay, great,
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you. And kudos to the ad hoc committee.
Yes. Yes, wonderful work.
All right, Chair Rojas has returned, just in time. We're at the board comments.
We're about to, all right. Go ahead and finish.
Right here. You're done.
Oh, we're there already?
Yep.
Yeah.
We
I
are
didn't
there.
think I took that long. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's start with Kevin.
Okay, so as my last meeting, it wasn't really a light month. I started off actually representing Columbia College at the Chamber of Commerce meeting for the Dean of CTE, so that was quite an experience. I also had a conference in Ontario called General Assembly, which is where you have a delegate from each associated student organization come. They vote on resolutions. They adopted a new constitution, which hasn't happened in 10 years, so that was a cool thing. I also attended the last Associated Students of Columbia College meeting for the year and attended Bakersfield region meeting in Bakersfield. I also attended the EEOC committee meeting, which is the Equal Employment Opportunity Committee. And then I also am going to be attending the Associated Students of Modesto Junior College's meeting tomorrow, which is going to be my last time attending their meeting as the trustee. So I want to thank the board, the district, the faculty, and classified. Everybody in the district's really kind of supported me while I've been the student trustee. I'm going to, for example, like I'm meeting with Tom over the summer to talk to him about a couple things. I kind of feel like the board's more of like an extended group of friends. I want to give a couple shout outs, one to Jan, one to Graciela. Both of you guys dealt with my paperwork and helping me go to conferences. I want to thank Joan for approving my conferences and meeting with me to give me recaps whenever I had to miss a meeting. I also want to give a shout out to Connie for sending out detailed meeting reports so I could just shoot those to the ASOs and they could stay in the loop on what's going on. Also, Lynn, we had a lot of fruitful conversations over lunches. I want to thank my parents because I wouldn't have been able to do this without their support. My friend and my girlfriend who are both in the audience.
Well, let's give them a hand.
And so at this point, I'm going to kind of go off script and go off something I normally wouldn't do, which is I'm actually going to ask Savannah to go to prom with me.
She said yes.
She said yes.
We saw it.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Good job. I can honestly say that you've been one of the most outstanding trustees that we've had. Your participation in
Thank you.
events has been outstanding, so you rank among the top. Thank you for your service. Mike?
I attended the board's study session on Title IX. I had a chance to spend an hour or so with George Bedrukas going over the MJC Foundation budget. I attended the annual county school board dinner where Dan Walters was the featured speaker, the political columnist. And I asked him a question, and I thought his response was very interesting. Asked him to comment about the challenge of the STRS and PERS liability deficit. And he said, well, it's no problem anymore. The state just gave it to the schools to handle. And it's different, the
They
perspective. If you've got a Sacramento perspective, yes, Sacramento's problems have been solved by giving it to all the school districts. So
Who's this guy, Walter?
Dan Walters.
He rides for the bee.
And I think he's a great columnist. I like him.
He started out in Turlock, incidentally, so.
I attended the MJC commencement, and again, with everybody else, I join in thanking you, Michelle, and all the other people that had such a big role in making it a great meeting of students, faculty, staff, parents. I attended the board special meeting with the search consultant, Fran White, and I think we had a very productive meeting that was just yesterday, and that was only, about a 3-hour meeting?
Yes.
So a very efficient 3-hour meeting. And I attended yesterday afternoon the MJC Foundation's Finance Committee meeting.
Thank you, Mike. Linda?
Like Mike, I attended the board study session and also the opportunity to choose. Yesterday, we talked with our consultant who will be on the search committee for a new chancellor. I attended the agenda review. I also attended the nurses' pinning ceremony, and I think one of the best MJC graduations in the times that I've been in office as a trustee. I think it was the most remarkable and well attended. There have been occasions in the past where there were many empty seats, but this time they had to bring out seats. So it was very, very impressive. Thank you, Michelle, and to all the people who were involved in this as well. Thank you.
I met with Columbia College President Dr. Fairchilds, attended the Scholarship Award celebration at Columbia College, and attended the Columbia College End of the Year picnic, and attended Columbia College graduation, and had an opportunity to drop in on the Leadership Academy last week, which was very enlightening. And I attended the Tuolumne County Annual Trustee Dinner for Excellence in Teaching Awards, where math instructor Annie Cavagnero from Columbia College was recognized as Teacher of the Year. And attended the Columbia College Fire Academy graduation and the agenda meeting on Monday and the Policies and Procedures Ad Hoc Committee and the special board meeting with the search consultant yesterday.
You didn't go to the San Francisco game, I see. Ann?
Okay. I've attended, we've had a lot of board meetings recently,
Yeah.
and so April 18th, I attended that meeting. I also attended the SCOE, the Stanislaus County Office of Education School Board dinner that Mike reported on. I'm fascinated by Dan Walters, and maybe you can help me remember the statistic, because it really shocked me. He talked about one of the big problems in California is the way that the money that is taxed comes to them, because he said that it's 144,000 people, that's not very many in the whole state, that provide about, I remember it being about 40% of all taxes in the state.
It's a high percentage.
It's
I thought it was even higher.
higher,
Than that.
okay, I didn't want to make a mistake in the wrong direction, but when we have a tax structure dependent on 144,000 people, that's, people can move. So that's always something to be careful about. Anyway, the agenda meeting, policy and procedures meeting, meeting with the search consultant, and the GVM monthly meeting was I at.
Thank you, Joan, as always, for my individual agenda review. I found the Title IX special meeting particularly edifying. I learned what I didn't know on that day. Aaron, look forward to meeting with you over the summer. Have you broke the news to your folks yet? Okay, anyway. And graduation. Gosh, this was my, 20th graduation? I didn't make it when I was here. I was one class short. But that was the most electric. I mean, that's the only way for me to describe it. We had the most students, the most faculty, classified staff stepped up for everything we needed to make that work, as was mentioned. So that was really a lot of fun. Just one of those electric fun night. We were up there all together, passing things out, just having a ball. The weather was great, switching around, but it was just
So many students.
one of those perfect nights. Thank you.
Don?
I attended the Title IX training session under threat from the chancellor. It was worthwhile. I met with the consultant yesterday, popularly known as the headhunter. Attended the agenda meeting and attended the graduation at Columbia. And it was well done. I like efficient graduations.
Yeah, I attended the meetings with the chancellor and did attend the board study session and some other things. So, I forgot my calendar today, so I don't have everything written down. So. But anyway, it's great to be on campus whenever I have an opportunity to do so. I know that, I think Jill asked me when I was up there shaking hands, I said, smile for grandma or smile for mother. You were asking me, all those people you know? I said, no, that was just my way of trying to ease the recipients of their graduation certificate. I'd always tell them, smile for grandma if they were older. And if they're younger, I say, smile for your mother. So they'd got a kick out of that, so I really enjoy that. And as far as electrifying, it was. The most electrifying, of course, was my first one, and that was in 1988. And that was the first time I had done that at the college, so that compared.
And you had a special graduate this year, too, right?
Yes, I had special graduates this year, so that when you come from a large family, one comes through about every 4 years. So I want to thank everybody for attending tonight, and all you people from Columbia, drive home safely. We want to see you again back here at our next board meeting. So with that, if anybody has any objections, we'll call it a night. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Aaron, would you like this box for your plaque?
Yeah,
Could you pass that?
probably wouldn't be a bad idea to keep it safe until I get home.